Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 35 of Tuesday Tips. Today, I'm going to talk to you about some special dies. And the ones in particular I'm going to talk about, if you have the July to December mini catalog, holiday catalog, I'm on page 19. If you want to look online, I'm looking at the Joyful Flurry bundle. So let's talk about the basics first. Okay, we've got this stamp set, the Joyful Flurry stamp set, and then we've got the Frosted Flurry dies that you bundle with it. So we'll do the obvious first. We'll take these dies and just kind of line them up here, and you can see that you would just simply stamp an image and then die cut it. Pretty straightforward, right? But then this is what I need to show you. Oh, wait, there's one little more. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. You would stamp those images, you would cut them out, just like you do with pretty much all the dies that you have. But then we've got some extra other dies. So I'll pull these in first. So these are actually two of the same, and then this one that's a little bigger. These just cut out snowflakes. You cut them out of cardstock, vellum, designer paper, whatever you would want. These just give you more snowflake images, not necessarily corresponding to a stamped image. Okay? Then we have these. And these are a little bit different. These are detailed dies. They aren't just the outline image that you cut out, but these are a little bit different. When you're looking, I think I can move this now. You get the idea with that. When you're looking in the catalog here, do you see how it's kind of like a square? Now, this doesn't look like a square. This is the actual shape, but they show it to you like this in the catalog so that you can see it's not die cutting like we traditionally think, where you run it through and the image is completely cut out, like these would be up here. So what I want to do is take one of these, and I just grabbed a scrap piece of shaded spruce cardstock. I'm going to set it on here, of course, the raised edge down to do the cutting. I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine just off camera here, and I am going to crank this through and then pull it back in so you can see exactly what these detailed dies do. Okay, so this is same thing. I cranked it through, and now I'm lifting that off, and look what happened. This shape didn't like fall out of my cardstock, but what it did is it cut, but it didn't cut it out. Does that make sense? So it's cutting. I can raise up these different parts. They're almost like little hearts in the snowflake. So I can raise this up, but it's not coming out of the cardstock. It's still attached to the cardstock. And of course, it popped out all those cute circles around there. So you've got a fun element to add to your project. So you can see it like on this card. Oops, this card here. They actually put some gold foil underneath so that gold foil showed through. Should have grabbed some of that. That would have been a cool idea. I want to show you a card that I did that I utilized another one of these that die cuts without cutting out. There's just that detailed die that it kind of gives you a peek to what's underneath. Now in this one, I just did fresh freesia underneath. But like I said, this one here, they put some gold foil behind it. There's a little bit of silver foil here, and you can just see if I did that behind it, you would see that through it, which would be a pretty cool effect. So what's really fun about this, you can see I stamped some snowflakes. Then I took some of these extra dies and just cut some vellum snowflakes to add a little bit of depth and dimension on there. And then I just die cut into this layer of fresh freesia without actually cutting out an image. But it just adds so much depth and interest to add these to your project. Those little teeny tiny dotted lines there, and then just to have all these pieces that raise up and give it dimension. So hopefully you can kind of grasp what that is. So when you see a die in our catalogs that looks like this, and you're like, I'm not really sure what that does, that's the detailed die. That's what you put down, crank through your machine, and you get this great die cut image that doesn't actually cut out. It's not popping something out like you typically think of when you die cut, but it just adds so much depth, dimension, and interest to your projects. So that's my tip for you today. Just look for these dies. This one is one of my favorites, the Joyful Flurry Bundle. The stamps are great, lots of variety of snowflakes. I love that you get these two dies with it to work with on your greetings or doing some layering. Here, I use the bigger die just with the silver foil. I didn't use it around any words. And then I added the stitch circle for my greeting there. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it and give it a try. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.